Born wild in a world that wants to tame me. You can't catch me on the run, cause I'm gone, yeah. I blaze trails, set fire to what's behind me. No, I'm never looking back, I'm on the run. I could only ever be what I'm made to be. It feels good when I'm living on the edge. Watch me now, roll like thunder, gonna shake the ground. Can't stop me now, I don't give up and I won't back down. I'm a force of nature, can't be contained. I got lightning running all through my veins. Watch me now, watch me now.
Hello, Mountaineers. I'm the Wolfman, Dale Wolfley, and this is the WolfMan's call for the Iowa State Cyclones and the Mountaineers football breakdown. That's a big one. Brought to you by our great friends at Parmar Stores. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be one soon, very soon. And Artisan Grange Company. Switch to hemp, just a dip. Do it the AGC way. Artisan Grange Company hemp. No tobacco, no nicotine. Get healthy. And a new partner coming to the Wolfman's call, already associated with the three wolves of football, but it's White Oak Pastures. Regenerative farming, the land, livestock, and what's best for the village. Wow, they're really something special. Just on the Joe Rogan Experience the other day, Will Harris, the chief, man, wow, really, really pleased to be on board with these guys and proud because they're making a difference. All right, that's business. Now, let's get to this other business of breaking down the Iowa State Cyclones. They're 3-5, 0-5, Big 12. You say, well, they're not that good. Well, it's not there. They're very, very competitive. They have not figured out how to win those close games yet. When you think of what they lost on offense and Brock Purdy and Kohler, the tight end, and of course you have Breece Hall, the running back, and you think of those senior offensive linemen. They had all those guys really six. I mean, it was a special offense. Now Hutchinson, the wide receiver, is back, and he has 77 receptions to prove it in his 8 games. But it's not the same offense as it was. You flip it to the other side for the defense, and they're only giving up 16.6 points per game. So that's 17 points per game. Wow, 17 points per game. That is a defense that is tough. That is a defense that is strong. Remember, it is a 3 defensive lineman, 3 backer, 5 DB defense, and they like to have that big old blanket on you. You know, minimum 3 deep at all times, unless they're going into some form of man coverage. But they really like the blanket. They like to eliminate the big plays. And they're only giving up 180 yards in the air. I think that's like 16th in the nation. And, of course, they're only giving up 115 yards on defense. So, in the run game. So, they're really putting together, you know, they're just a tough defense. 5 games they've lost combined by 28 points. Wow, that's tough. And their special teams are good. It's Ames. Matt Campbell, the head coach, very good head coach. I've followed him since his Toledo days. He's done some really good things at Iowa State. Remember, Iowa State was really it was down the road. Kansas and Iowa State were the Big 12's bottom. Hasn't been that way the last 5-6 years. And even though Iowa State's 3-5, I guarantee you it is going to be extremely difficult for the Mountaineers to go in there and pull out a victory. I can remember when Iowa State was in December, and they had won 2 games, and it was freezing, and it was a storm, and it was packed. They're loyal fans out there, and they're going to be out there for the Mountaineers on Saturday. That is for sure. And what's really important to think about is not so much Iowa State, because I'm going to explain how we can beat them and break them down, but it's about the Mountaineers, okay? So let's go back to last week's TCU game really briefly. Okay, so the defense had a better second half than the first half, and you like the way they fought. I like the way they did not give up young brothers. I'm going to tell you, that first half of the defense, man, that was not good. Offensively, yeah, I was all right with offense. Yeah, you came to play. Defensively, whether you came to play or not, you didn't have the results. I don't care if they're number 7 in the nation. Have some pride. You're at home. And let me say this. Giving up 41 points in any game is not your standard. You say, well, I thought we played pretty good against the number 17. Is that your standard now? Because it's not my standard. It's not my brother's standards. And I know it's not their standards down there. So that's not the standard. So I don't want to hear, well, you gave up only 41 points to TCU. That's correct. Iowa State's giving up 17 points a game. Okay, that's a big difference. Their defense is playing tough. And that's why our defense, and I'm encouraged, our defense with Charles Woods back there, because Hutchinson, as I said, 77 receptions, over 800 plus yards, double-digit yards per catch. Only, I think, 5 touchdowns. Not a lot of touchdowns because he doesn't go deep. He's there. I showed it in the film. He's doing the screen game. He's doing across the middle. He's doing the outs. Don't see a ton of go balls to him, but he can get open. He can make the big play. Hasn't done it this year for too many big plays. And I think if the Mountaineers can control him and Charles Woods, hey, let's see what happens here, because they do got a couple other receivers that are pretty good as well, but they're not Hutchinson quality type receivers, at least not yet. Okay, and you look at Hunter Decker's the quarterback. Now, it's the interesting, our defense. If you look at Iowa State's running game, wow, Iowa State's running game is 97 yards per game. Brees Hall, where are you, man? Right, Charlie Kohler. Where you at? All those senior offensive linemen last year. Where you at? Brock Purdy. Where you at? Right? Well, they're not there. they're on, and a lot of them are in the NFL. So thank goodness those super seniors moved on. They're Deckers. So he's number 12. He's a big guy. He can run. He's a dual threat quarterback. It's not that he's designed to run the ball as much, but he can extend the play with his legs. And he's not bad. His completion percentage is 67%, but here's the downfall. He's got 14 TDs this season, but he's got 10 interceptions. The Mountaineers have to have some turnovers. They have to intercept the ball in Ames, Iowa on Saturday to win the game. They have to get turnovers. The running game, again, I told you, 97 yards, and it's not the same offense that we've seen for the last 4 or 5 years. But that defense, flip it over, man. And you got 3 backers. They're weak side backers, 231 pounds. They're middle backers, 260 pounds. And their strong side backers, 241, 242. Wow, that's a lot of 2-something. I mean, those backers are heavy in the Big 12. Well, they use that middle linebacker. He might as well be a defensive lineman, right? He's anchoring in there in the middle. And of course, there's ways to hurt that defense. I'm going to show you on film and show you what Oklahoma did in a lot of ways. Now, Oklahoma barely won that game, but it was those turnovers that got them. Deckers, he threw 3 interceptions against Oklahoma. I'm telling you right now, if the Mountaineers aren't intercepting some balls, then against Hunter Deckers, then it's going to be trouble. Then he's usually, if they're not hitting him, if they're not getting pressure. Hey, didn't Neil Brown say in his press conference that they're going to go ahead and be more aggressive? That's where they were in the second half against TCU. And they feel like, hey, maybe with Charles Woods in there, they can be more aggressive. So, yeah, I'm jacked up. Let's be more aggressive, man, right? But yeah, let's get after. What do you got to lose? You're 3-5. You're only 1 game away, or 2 games away from missing bowl season, right? So you don't give up. You never, ever, ever give up. Now, I know against that TCU, I'll tell you what, that first half defense, man, I was ready to throw everything at the set. But you know what, man? It's like that's who I am. Is I'm going to be something positive. So we're going to go with the positivity of we're going to fight. Now let's get to the film here and break this down because I want to just show you the film. Offensively, what do we have to do against them? Defensively, what do we need to do? Special teams. Don't turn the ball over. Win the field position. But we're going to take a break here first and hear from Parmar Stores. But we're going to get into that Iowa State offense.
Hi, my name is Wyatt Milam, and I'm from Canova, West Virginia. When I'm back home in Canova, you will find me at my local Parmar store.
We had that golden blue pride at Parmar. There are literally hundreds of Parmar stores in West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, and even more on the way. Download the Parmar app to save even more. And whether it's food, gas, groceries, or whatever, we have you covered at Parmar. West Virginia proud and ready to serve you.
And if there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
Hunter Deckers, the quarterback, sophomore. He has 2,151 yards on the season. He has 14 TDs, but he's got 10 interceptions, averaging about 269 yards per game. 67% completion percentage, so not bad completion percentage, but he can get a little crazy, can get a little wild, but watch him here as he's also elusive with his legs as a dual threat quarterback. You'll see him drop back in the end zone, and he's got the composure to get out and watch him as he not only gets the first down, but he extends it for big yardage. Watch here, he drops a snap, composure again. You see him once more running out. He's going to get that first down. He can extend plays. While he's under the center right now, he's going to go out. Look at that. Avoids Oklahoma defender, and he hits Hutchinson for the first down. He keeps his eyes downfield, even under pressure. Gets the snap. He's going to move the pocket now. Iowa State likes to move the pocket and gets out to his receivers. Not bad. And watch here. He's going to throw what? The big interception. Against Oklahoma, he had 3 picks. Once again, 14 TDs throwing and 10 interceptions. You see the second one right there. And here's the game winner for Oklahoma at the very end. You see him get the interception, running down to the 1-yard line. Oklahoma barely won this game against Iowa State. They are tough. Let's watch here. What happens? They're getting pressure on him. He's not as accurate. When you put pressure on him, you can feel the threat right there. Watch it one more. There you go. And that right on him. Mountaineers have to get man coverage, and they have to put pressure on Hunter Deckers to be successful. Go to the receiver, their number 1 receiver, and that would be Xavier Hutchinson. Man, he's been hurting the Mountaineers for years, it seems like. He has 77 receptions on the season. He's averaging about 11 yards per reception. He has 830 total yards, 5 TDs. He's got a long of 38, and he's averaging 104 yards per game. Xavier Hutchinson, watch out. Hey, Charles Woods, you got to be ready because they're going to use him in all ways there. You see him just for a 10-yard out. For the screen right here, get the first down. He's going to pop. They use him. He's all over the field. You'll see here, he's going to go ahead and he's going to get up. He's going to make the catch out, doing about an 18-yard out. And then, of course, you're going to see him go ahead and see what he can do when he has the ball in his hands, and he's going to get that first down. Hey, Xavier Hutchinson, he is leading the nation in receptions. He is their number 1 threat. And the rest of the receiving staff, you got to look at Dimitri Stanley, number 14. He has 25 receptions, 313 yards, almost 13 yards per reception, and he averages about 45 yards per game. He is an explosive play guy. He can go ahead. You can see there, Deckers gets time, makes the throw, easy throw, right across the middle, and you can see Dimitri Stanley going and making the catch. Jalen Noel, he's got 42 receptions, 432 yards, 10 yards per reception, 3 TDs, and he averages about 54 yards per game. Once again, between him and Dimitri, they average about what Hutchinson gets. So you add those 2 wide receivers, there are 2 that stand out. You have to look at Dimitri Stanley, the senior, got 25 receptions, 313 yards, 13 yards per reception, average about 45 yards per game. He's explosive, he's fast. Watch Hunter Deckers. When he has time, he's very accurate. Again, 67%, but you see there the catch to Dimitri. Stan, watch this guy right here. Yeah, Jalen Noel. Jalen Noel is explosive. He's fast. He has 42 receptions, 432 yards, 10 yards per reception, and he's getting about 54 yards. You can see that touchdown right here. The Mountaineers are going to have to really cover these guys. But if you add up big tight ends that Iowa State had last year, well, they're gone. But you do have 6'6" Dean Easton here, because the Cyclones will go 11 and 12 personnel, but they do keep these tight ends in the game. You see Easton right there making a big reception. He's fiery. He's got attitude. He likes to play ball. Look at this Iowa State rushing game. Without Breece Hall, the all-time Iowa State running back, and the two big tight ends, you're going to see that this team is struggling, averaging only 97 yards per game. That's good for 119 in the country. That is not Cyclone football under Matt Campbell. But you're going to see Jarrell Brock, who's averaging about 4.5 yards per carry here. But this is it. This is an offensive line that struggles. And then you're going to see Eli Sanders here. He's going to get her. He's only going to average about 3.5 yards per carry. But here's the problem that you're going to see. They do a lot of motion, if you haven't noticed that. But they come out here. This is what happens. They got poor angles. When you talk about going up to the next level, watch this guy here from Oklahoma blow this offensive lineman back and getting to the proper angles up to the second and third levels. They're not doing it, and that's what consistently is hurting this Cyclone offense. Again, you see the pushback. There's no push by the Big Red. That is not Iowa State type football. Okay, so that's the Iowa State offense, right? You can stop the run, our defense. We can stop the run in the box. You have to put pressure on him. Be aggressive. Blitz a little bit more. Disguise your coverages. You got Charles Woods back there. Hopefully that can help you, and you can get it done. Once again, you can't allow big plays. And I don't think that they have a ton of big plays in them, but they will keep continually move the ball. Rush the ball. They like to still run it. Okay, not as effective, but they still run it, but then pass the ball. And it's about controlling Hutchinson. Control Hutchinson. And, of course, you got to corral Deckers there at quarterback, because he can get those first downs and extend those plays, as you saw. But now let's roll to watch this Iowa State defense. Tough, man. They have lost 5 games by a total of 28 points. Their scoring defense, they're only giving up 17 points per game. That's 17 points, man. And for pass defense, they're 16th in the nation, with giving about 180, and about 26th in the nation, giving up 116 yards against the run. They do not give up big plays. As you can see right here, they're going to have 3 to 4 deep at all times. They're a 3-3-5 team. They're going to have a middle safety, where you're going to see the middle safety is free to run about. And that's the strength of this Iowa State defense. Watch, as you're going to see Will McDonald here, number 9. Watch him. He's got 32.5 sacks in his career. He's a senior, 6'3", 240. He is big time. Now, he doesn't get the sack here because guess what? He's getting double teamed. Dante Stills, right? That's what they do. And then, of course, you see, now they are not big on sacks or TFLs, but they know how to do it when they need it. Putting the pressure on Oklahoma right here. They will get you. They will blitz. They will go man coverage. And again, they will come at you on defense. Oklahoma's going to run the ball. They have 3 defenders, 3 defensive linemen, a backer, and one that's half in the box, half out of the box, right? They're going to run right up the middle. But look at this. This defensive line is so tough, so strong, so aggressive that they don't allow any Oklahoma players up on to the second level. It's wild. Check this out. Look at that. There's no one up to the next level, and you see here Iowa State making big plays, making big tackles. The offensive line has got a challenge when trying to run up the middle. And how about right here? You see 4 Iowa State defenders right over 3 Sooners. Well, that looks like you could run in the box here because you got 4 to 3 here. Numbers look good, right? Well, watch. They like to disguise, and they're going to come back over here. He's the safety. He's the free hitter. You can't account as an offensive lineman for someone that's over here, and it's a foolery, tomfoolery. You see that? There you go. Look, it makes the hit. The collapse is really fast. It's an illusion. Their linebackers, one is 231 pounds, the weak side. The middle linebacker's 260, and the Sam is 242 pounds. That's a lot of dudes up the middle. That's a lot of weight up the middle. That's why I want to show you how the Mountaineers should attack this Iowa State defense. But they grudgingly give up. Watch the battle here to the offensive line. I see defensive linemen attacking those Sooner offensive linemen. Watch, this guy's a baller. Anthony Johnson Jr., who is a senior, 6'1", 207-pound safety. I love watching the guy play because all he does is just play football. He's a baller. Watch him here. He hits this guy on the red zone. He doesn't get an inch after he catches the ball. That is great defense. That is what Iowa State likes to pride themselves on. What you really love about Iowa State is they don't want to give up touchdowns. They want to give up field goals, and that's why they're only allowing 16 points per game. But again, who is it? It's Anthony Johnson coming in and making the big hit. He's not getting – that's Oklahoma running backs not getting an inch. He's a baller. Watching slow motion again as he fills through the gaps, and he plays it. Wow. The Mountaineers really got to watch out for Anthony Johnson, and he's going to get one more here. He's going to play the defense. Yeah, I know, man. You're a baller. You got to see here, fake the play action, and then he's going to throw the ball, and there he is again, delivering the big hit. He made the catch receiver, but he's going to think the next time that Anthony Johnson's coming down, and that's what our receivers are watching in film prep. This is what Iowa State does best. They eliminate the big play in the passing game. They're only giving up 180 yards per game. That's 16th in the nation because they got 5 DBs usually, and they blanket across the top minimum usually of 3. What you're going to see, Iowa State's going to get pressure on the quarterback, but the DBs are going to be sitting there right on top of the long ball. That's why they're 16th in the nation, because they don't give up the big play. They go pressure on QB, and there you see it right there. That's what they do. Good defensive coverage. Well, what do you do then? You can't throw the deep ball. You can't run up the middle. Well, I'll tell you what you can do. Watch what Oklahoma does. They're going to go ahead and they're going to attack what? Outside. Yeah, you got all that heavy beef on the inside there, the defensive linemen and the linebackers, right? But what about on the outside? You got to take the edges. They give up flats. Watch again. You have room out here on the outside of the passing game. Screen game is going to be big, right? And then, of course, you got a run game here to the outside. Get to the outside. That's where they're soft. You don't want to go up the middle on them. You want to go to the outside. Watch right there. He's going out, and he's up, and there's opportunity against this stalwart defense of the Cyclones. And again, I'm proving it. You can run against them. You can, but you got to make sure you know how you're running. That defense, wow, is that defense tough? How about Anthony Johnson? Number one, listen, man, I'm a Mountaineer. We all know I'm a Mountaineer, but you got to love good football players. And that guy just loves to play. And you got to have respect for that. And I know the Mountaineers do. And I know those receivers are going to be wondering, where is he at free safety? Got to be running around. And again, if they go ahead, if they can attack the perimeter of the field, then they can catch them maybe in some deep stuff because they're going to have to come up and try to be aggressive to make those tackles on the perimeter. I think it's tough to run up the middle. You got to keep it honest, though. You got to go ahead and attack the middle to some degree, and just to get the numbers there and just to make sure that they're not trying to cheat out to the outside. But I really think you have to attack the perimeter. I think they're soft a little bit outside. I think that Oklahoma film showed that to you. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at what we have here. What we have here is a team that's 3-5, a team that's fighting for itself. Young brothers, teams that are looking for help from each other, looking for help from the coaches. They're not going to get any help from fans this week. Now they're not playing at Milan Puskar Stadium. So they're going to have to go out and they're going to have to do this on the road by themselves. Now they've gone to Pitt and they played well, in my opinion, against Pitt. Not well enough, but they played well. They went to Virginia Tech, played well. We see that Virginia Tech's not a barn burner of a team, but they still played well, and they still went into that game. They got the trophy. So important. And then, of course, they made these other trips. Texas Tech. Not good at all. We're going to call it the way it is. Not good. So how do you change it now? Well, you go down there, and you have a mindset. It's got to start right here. I always say it's got to start individually, and it's always got to start right here in the brain, man, because it's about your attitude. It's about what mentality are you going to have. Are you going to go down there and I got my brother's back. I got my back. I got coach's back. Because that's all it is. Because in Ames, Iowa, that's going to be a couple hundred Mountaineer fans, and everybody else is Iowa State. And they are hungry. They're 3-5. You think they're a little bit jacked, a little bit chafed to the fact that they've lost 5 games by a total of 28 points in big games. They've been in them, but they just haven't found a way to win them. And that's what the Mountaineers got to find is what's the formula of their kryptonite? Because they must have some kind of kryptonite that lose 5 games by 28 points because they're not getting it done. And that's what the Mountaineers have. And they have to find that way and attack. And they got a balanced offense. Turnovers got to be huge. Got to be huge. But the faster they get off, the better it is because you don't want them coming in at the end of the game, putting the pressure on the Mountaineers. You want a fast start. You want to punch them in the mouth and say, hey, we're here to play. We're here now. We want to be 4-5, not you be 4-5. We want to go to a bowl game, not you go to a bowl game. Trust me, it's going to be a hornet's nest there, and they're going to be ready to play, and they want this game. But I'm saying this right now, the Mountaineers can win this game. They can win this game, but they have to have this here, the mindset. They have to have the mentality, the physicality of going out there, being smart, you know what I mean? Having some savviness out in the football field. If they put some man coverage on you, because right now our receivers are shown they don't get off man coverage very well. They don't get that separation. What I mean, here's your separation. Here's what's on. They're on them, right? They're on them. But then you get that, the separation. I could now make a catch. It's not hard. Well, it's harder to do than to say, but it's not hard to realize what the concept is. You need room to catch the ball. You need separation. And that's physicality. That's sharp route running. That's using your head. And you think you're going one way, then you go the next. Right? Put it all together, man. That's what you're out there. That's your fundamentals. That's what you're doing. You're under control. You're under your center of gravity where you can move your body so effectively. Right, left, or left, right. Right? Yeah. You're following me. So that's what they got to do. They got to get together, and then they got to do it individually. Here. And then they got to do it collectively. And their unit, defense, offense, special teams. And then they have to do what? Do it all together as a team. One team, man, one mission. Win a ball game. And they need this game. Everybody needs this game. Well, that's about it, my friends. And I've shown you what I've done for the breakdown. And, of course, we are going to have Mountaineer Legends pregame. We'll be starting at 12:30. I got some stats there at 12:30. I want to show you about this team, and I think it's going to be pretty eye-opening. Mountaineer Legends pregame at 12:30. And we're going to have Brian Joswiak, and we're going to have Daryl Talley and Owen Schmidt. We're gonna get some old timers in there. Well, we got Charlie Fisher and Dave Oblak. So many good dudes, man. I'm trying to think of them right now. But Quincy Wilson is going to be the big Q, man. So we're gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna be talking about Mountaineer football, and we're gonna be talking about what the Mountaineers need to do to be victorious in Ames, Iowa. And that, my friends, is all I got for the Iowa State Cyclones and the Mountaineers. We thank our great friends at Parmar Stores. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be one soon. And Arson Grange Company. Switch to hemp, just a dip. Do it the AGC way. Arson Grange Company hemp. And White Oak Pastures. Hey, it's all about land, livestock, and village, man. Regeneration, saving our earth, producing the best meats out there, and making it their own ecosystem. Let's go Mountaineers. Let's get it done. 3-5, need to be 4-5 at the end of the game. Hail West Virginia. Boom!